Welcome to the Dean's office. This is the week of February 22nd. There is an awful lot of fishing going on in the country right now. The weather has been amazing throughout really the Mid-South, and it's been great. Even in my part of the country, we're seeing air temperatures that are going to be in the 70s this weekend. So it's time, guys. You know, we've been in cabin fever for a while. It's time to get out, do a little fishing. If you've been out fishing and you're having a little struggle getting things together, getting strikes, catching fish consistently this time of year, we've got a great bunch of content coming out that last week and this week, which are really going to help you dial in on how to catch fish this time of year. But we've had a lot going on at Bass University. Last week, we had a seminar by Seth, who is in his sophomore year on the Bassmaster Elites and coming fresh off a 4th place finish at the first elite tournament on Lake Cherokee. And he did it by catching smallmouth. No surprise there. Seth is one of the best smallmouth fishermen in the country, believe it or not, even at such a young age. And he's proven that over and over again. And he did it again on Lake Cherokee. And he did it by fishing deep water schools of smallmouth. And in his seminar about smallmouth, he talks about exactly how he does that, the lures and techniques that he uses to catch those cold water smallmouth. And he talks about how the lures change depending on water temperature. In extremely cold water temperature, using things like blade baits and the jigging wrap. And as the water warms, things like swim baits and jigs and spinner baits and jerk baits become more and more effective as the water temperature warms. It's a really, really informative seminar. If you're a smallmouth guy like me, it's an absolute must-see. And you want to go back and you definitely want to check that out. One of the things that he talks about that really kind of blew my hair back was the use of a swim bait trailer on a spinner bait, which isn't that mind-blowing. But the thing about it is he takes his trailer hook off. He found that when he uses a spinner bait by itself, he always used a trailer hook and needed to. But once he put that swim bait on there, the smallmouth connected with that bait so aggressively and more consistently that it eliminated the need for him to use a trailer hook. That's pretty interesting information for those of us that like to catch smallmouth on spinner baits. It's a very, very valuable tool. So you want to definitely go back and check that out. If you missed this Sunday's episode of Bass U Live, you want to go and look at that. That was a lot of fun. We really got a chance to introduce everybody to Jamie Hartnett, who is a rookie on the Bassmaster Elites this year. And he started out almost winning his first one, came up just a few ounces shy, finishing 2nd place behind Jacob Wheeler down there at Cherokee. And he is also a smallmouth guru, and he fished off of his sonar like a lot of guys in that tournament. And he talked to us at length about how he used that sonar to trigger, or to be able to determine when the strikes would come. Often, if you watched any of the Bassmaster Live footage, he would call the shots before the fish bit. And one of the most interesting things, and Joe Sancho, who was my co-host for that show, who was a former Elite Series pro, he pointed this out, that Jamie had noted during the footage that the color of the fish would change right before the strike would come. And Jamie tells us how that fish entering the cone and how the color of that fish changes. And you can determine, when that fish is going, or at least anticipate when that strike is going to come based on the color change of that fish. Really, really high-tech sonar information. You want to check that out. And thanks, Jamie, for being with us. And he also talked about being a rookie out on the tournament trail, coming in 2nd place. Got a nice big $25,000 check for 2nd place, and is going to be rolling that money right back into the tournament trail. So he's not going to be able to see a dime of it, but it's going to keep him out there and probably help him finish this season. And we certainly wish him the best out there on the tournament trail. But that was a great, great conversation. And we had Randy Tharp with us, who's no rookie. He's a veteran, a winner on both the Bassmaster Elites and the Opens, or I'm sorry, on the Elites as well as the FLW tournament trail. That's what I'm trying to say. So he's been around. He's won a lot. And he did really well on Cherokee by going against the grain. While everybody else was fishing deep, he picked up his jig rod and went to work fishing isolated cover with a jig and scoring with big largemouth and a few smallmouth. But did extremely well in that tournament. And now the tournament trail is going to his specialty, which is fishing in Florida, where he really made his name by winning a major FLW tournament down there. And they're going back to Okeechobee. Talks about the status of Okeechobee. The water's up. The fish are scattered around, and it's a kind of an Okeechobee preview. So definitely want to check that out. Got a little controversial too. He's on the tournament committee for the Bassmasters, and they're going to be reviewing whether or not what happened during the Elite. And if you didn't watch it, Jacob Wheeler's boat had trouble. So he under the rules, he's allowed to get into another competitor's boat and continue fishing, which he did. And he wound up winning the tournament as a result of making that decision and finding somebody that would help him and would fish with him. So they're going to be reviewing those rules. Did that affect the outcome of the tournament? Should that rule be allowed or not? Really interesting conversation. So go back, check that out. That's all available to you guys, and that's Bass U TV Live. We've got another one coming up in March with a bunch of great guests coming for that show, and we'll keep you posted on that. And this week is a really cool topic by a young angler. He's a rookie on the Elite this year, and it's Mark Daniels Jr. He's been really a strong starter. Spent about 3 years on the FLW tour, making a lot of FLW championships, winning over there. Now he's come over as an Elite rookie, and he's talking about lipless crankbaits, and it is the time of year for the lipless crankbaits. If your water temperature is warming, then this is the time. This is one of the best tools to catch them first thing in the early season. And he talks about stealth baits, quiet, one-knocking baits, loud baits, floating baits, how he triggers the strikes, the colors that he uses. So this is the time. So you want to check that out. I know it's as the water temperature warms as we go north in the country, everybody's going to have a lipless crankbait period. Several weeks, it could be several months, where that is the dominant bite on any particular body of water. So if you're fishing now and not having success, you want to check this out. If you're not able to go fishing yet, you want to get prepared and check out MDJ's Lipless Crankbait Seminar. And later in the week is a seminar I'm really excited about, because he's brand new to the Bass University, and he's an exceptional angler, is Bill Lowen. He's one of the most consistent professional anglers out there, checking in an amazing percentage of tournaments. I think it's like 80% of the tournaments he competes in, he scores a check. Incredibly consistent. And his go-to bait is a swim jig. He's outstanding at fishing it, scoring with it big time. And a lot of people are not that confident throwing a swim jig. So definitely want to check that out. If a swim jig is one of your favorite baits, I guarantee you Bill's going to have some tricks, some tips that are going to help your swim bait fishing. Now, the Elites are down at Okeechobee this week. The swim jig is a big time player down in those grassy lakes, those Florida lakes, especially Okeechobee. So I expect it to be a player down there this week. But I'm really thankful to have Bill with us. We were able to get him this year, and looking forward to seeing that seminar. You want to check it out this Thursday, and that's going to be on Bass University TV. So that's what's hot this week. I hope it's warm enough in your neighborhood to go fishing. It's warm enough in mine. My boat's out from under the cover. We're going fishing this week, and I wish you the best of luck. And check out Bass University TV. We're going to be delivering content that is really going to help you catch fish this time of year. So we've got more and more coming for you, so you definitely want to check that out. And I'll be telling you all about it. I'm Pete Gluzek, right here from the Dean's office.